From my infancy, I was well managed, kind-hearted from the start. I had a great loving of animals, including a variety of pets, in which I spent most of my time with. This quirk grew with me into my manhood. I married early to a wife of the same interests. We had a wide variety of pets, including birds, goldfish, a fine dog, rabbits, a small monkey, and a cat. The cat was remarkably large and beautiful. It was entirely black and sagacious to an astonishing degree. Pluto was his name. He followed me wherever I went. It was hard to stop him from following me in the streets.
Come on. Tail up.
You coming?
My drinking started to get out of hand, and it started to affect my pets, as well as my wife. I used my intemperate language with her. At length, I offered her personal violence. However, this was never a fate afflicted upon my cat. But Pluto began to grow old and began to feel the effect of my ill temper. One night, coming home, much intoxicated from one of my haunts about town, I imagined that the cat avoided my presence. I seized him. In his fright of violence, he inflicted a slight wound upon my hand. The fury of a demon instantly possessed me. I took a penknife from my waistcoat pocket. I grasped the poor beast by its throat and deliberately cut one of its eyes from the socket. When reason returned with the morning, when I had slept off the fumes of the night's debauch, one morning, in the cool blood, slipped a noose around its neck and hung it to the limb of a tree. Hung it with the tears streaming from my eyes. On the night of the day on which this cruel deed was done, I was aroused from my sleep by the cry of fire. The curtains of my bed were in flames. The house was blazing. It was with great difficulty that my wife and myself made our escape from the conflagration. The destruction was complete. My entire worldly wealth was swallowed up, and I resigned myself thenceforward to despair. The cat, I remembered, had been hung in the garden adjacent to the house. Upon the alarm of fire, this garden had immediately been filled by the crowd, by someone of whom the animal must have been cut from the tree and thrown through an open window into my chamber. This had probably been done with the view of arousing me from my sleep. One night, as I sat, half stupefied, in a den of more than infamy, my attention was suddenly drawn to some black object. Reposing upon the head of one immense hogshead of gin or rum, which constituted the chief furniture of the apartment, I approached it and touched it with my hand. It was a black cat, a very large one, fully as large as Pluto, and closely resembling him in every aspect but one. This cat had a white splotch on the whole region of the breast. Touching him, he immediately arose, purred loudly, rubbed against my hand, and appeared delighted with my notice. Continued my caresses, and I was prepared to go home. The animal evinced a disposition to accompany me. I permitted it to do so, occasionally stooping and patting it as I proceeded. When it reached the house, it domesticated itself at once, and became immediately a great favorite with my wife. For my own part, I soon found a dislike to it arising within me. By slow degrees, these feelings of disgust and annoyance rose into a bitterness of hatred. I avoided the creature, a certain sense of shame and remembrance of my former deed of cruelty preventing me from physically abusing. Today, my wife accompanied me into the cellar. On the way down the stairs, the cat nearly tripped me head over here. I was furious, so I grabbed an axe, uplifting it, aimed a blow at the animal, but this blow was instantly arrested by the hands of my wife. I turned around with the anger of 1,000 wolves and buried the axe into her skull. At that moment, I was shocked and could not believe what I had just done. I looked around, wondering what to do with the body. I saw the fireplace and thought to put her in it, and I did. 4 days after the murder, a search party of police came, very unexpectedly. They searched everywhere, leaving no nook and cranny unexplored. Descended into the cellar.
Alright, we're down.
They found nothing. Just as they were about to leave, I said something. Gentlemen, I am delighted to allay your suspicions. I wish you all health and a little more courtesy. By the by, gentlemen, this is a very well-constructed house. I may say an excellently well-constructed house. These walls, are you going, gentlemen? These walls are solidly put together. I took a cane to the wall where my wife was behind, and hit the brick. A meow came from behind the brick wall. The police turned around and came back.